Bitcoin and altcoins are holding on by a thin, very thin red thread. What's the next move going to be? There's a big one coming. We're going to talk about, is it going to be a move up or move down? Call us retarded, but we're still buying. There's two projects I'm buying. Well, one of them, Ecosystem. I'm going to share which ones. We'll have Rob share his. We're currently still in our VeChain trade. How are we looking on that? We'll take a peek at that. We're going to take a look at VeChain virtuals, look at Solana, the ETF flows, and a little bit of macro news. A lot of volatility in the market. Stock market's starting to rally a little bit. Will crypto rally? We're going to talk about that and much, much more on today's episode of Sin City Crypto. Gina, roll the intro.
Hola! It's your boy, your favorite host, Big Rob. I'm back. Welcome to Sin City Crypto. We take old, boring, stale information, repackage everything up in a fun, entertaining, nice white dress shirt kind of way. That's right. You know, just before we went live, I told David, I'm like, hey, man, Bitcoin feels like it's going to break out one direction or the other. It's gonna make a big move one direction or the other. And I don't think it's gonna consolidate here. I don't see consolidation at 100,000. It's either gonna bounce, and we'll be right back at 105, and signal the altcoins to bounce back as well, or we go down to my favorite year, 1998. Go down to 98,000. No, you know, those are one of my best years right there. 98.
That's the year I was born.
You're just got into high school, you know, I was figuring things out, and people were trying to figure me out, you know. That's what was going on. And then 4 years later, I became homecoming king, class of 2002. Greatest achievements, you know, there was that Bitcoin long I hit back in 2017. That was a good one, you know. It turned 6 figures, and there was also the 2002 homecoming, and that's a soft spot in my heart.
Wow!
All right,
so cool.
Let's jump right into it. I want to talk some altcoins. You know what, guys? It's hard to make money, at least to the upside, in the last few days. And if you've been shorting, it's been a good opportunity. But, you know, there's one project I wanted to point out here that's it has a lot of volume.
Tether Gold.
No, it has a lot of volume. And it has performed well on these pullbacks. And is Aerodrome. Wow, I'm bringing this up because this is, when you look at Aerodrome, this is on the 1 week. Despite Bitcoin having pullbacks, it's performing well. It won't last. Nothing really. If Bitcoin were to drop, there's nothing that's impervious, minus maybe BNB. For some reason, it doesn't care what Bitcoin does. But Aerodrome, if the markets were to pop off, I think this might be the golden goose play here. It might not be the sexiest on the charts. Historically, you look on the 1 year, it's not the best looking chart. And it's had a hard time keeping over $1. Now, with that said, the market trend currently, it's just fighting against it's performing in a way that no other alts are doing currently in the top 100 when it comes to outperforming Bitcoin. And so, small market cap, number 68 on the market cap list. So relatively speaking, it's at $1 billion. Doesn't take much to move. I would not be surprised if Bitcoin were to bounce back, would be over at 105, 106 on Bitcoin. Wouldn't be surprised to see a big move from Aerodrome. Perhaps could we see a $2 Aerodrome? I think so. I wanted to open up today's show, throwing that out there. Interesting price movement on this one. Also, even outside of the price on this, it's, well, just a project I like. It's in an ecosystem that we love. And there's a lot of reasons to be bullish on. It's not a meme coin. And so for me, Aerodrome, I think, is standing out amongst the other alts. David, what's up, bro?
I like Aerodrome.
Yeah.
CritCat said, I took an L on my Polygon and put it in Nano. Good move. Nano's up, damn, $1.60. When Forrest was on here shilling it, it was at like 80 cents. And so nice little 2x there while the rest of the markets bleed. On the 1 week, it's up 96. So it's 2x on the 1 week. 1 month, it's up 116%. 1 year, it's up 80%. All-time high, guys, just so you're aware, is I think it got to $40 somewhere. $35, $40. No, I don't know if it'll get there, but can this thing get to $8 to $10? I think it can. Yeah. Forrest is way more bullish. He thinks it's going to like $100. I don't know unless he knows something I don't know. That seems a little unreasonable to me. But hey, Forrest has been right a lot of times. He's been wrong a few times, and so will this be one of the times he's right a lot? I don't know. Time will tell. Let's talk a little bit about why the markets are down. We're so tired of winning, President Trump. We're so tired. It's really tired of winning, man. I've won so much, I just need to retire. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent says substantial tariff news is coming in the next few days. Well, everyone always assumes the worst when it comes to Trump and tariffs. And so, yeah, I think that's partly why the markets have dumped. And then he tried to put a Band-Aid on it and said, hey, American people expect to start feeling better about the economy in Q1, Q2. Bro, we're not going to last till Q1, Q2, man. What do you mean Q1, Q2, bro?
Why you sound so deflated, bro?
Christmas, I am a little sick. I don't feel good.
Bro, honestly, man, Bitcoin's over 100 grand. It's finding nice little bounces. We saw a little pop off on altcoin space just at the end of last week. And so it's been literally 5 days since Friday when we were over here, super euphoric. We're like, altcoins are back. So take a look. Seeing a strong bounce, strong movement from Zcash. A lot of times Zcash, well, I don't know if top's in. I think I came in yesterday and I was like, hey, I think the top's in.
Change your mind.
Who knows? Anyways, it's not about that. When it comes to Zcash, I just want to say this. It has precluded the market. It's been the front runner. Now, it's been less and less impactful when basically once Bitcoin finds itself, Zcash has ran first. This has been something we've seen for the last 2 months, basically. Zcash runs, and then the other alts will follow if they do. More alts have followed recently. But anyways, Zcash up to $180 or $480. This move this morning was down to $450. We even saw it get down to $440. So a nice big bounce there, and some nice candles here. And I don't know, dude. Could it mean that
the top's not in?
I just think that with the big move from Zcash, Bitcoin kind of finding its the 101. Like I said, I'm really not sure what will happen with the altcoin space if Bitcoin doesn't hold 100K. I think there will be some panic selling across the altcoin space if Bitcoin were to find 98,000 and hang out under 100 grand. We've been down there twice, but only candle wicked. Bounce right back up. If we trade under 100K, I think it's a bad day for alts. But good opportunity for our traders for short positions and a resetting of current prices on altcoins. But like I said, I'm not really sure. About 50-50. 50-50 on what direction Bitcoin will go at this moment.
I'm 100.
100, no?
Yeah. I was looking at the stock market. So Dow Jones is up 400 points. S&P is up 14 points. Come on, work. There we go. There we don't go. My computer's frozen. Thanks, Gina. Appreciate it. Oh, there we go. Wow. Okay. Let me go back. Nope, it's still frozen. Okay, Rob, I don't have a computer.
That's cool.
Okay.
I got this bottle of water.
Can you pull up a VeChain chart on TradingView if you don't mind, and go to the daily time frame? So VeChain is one that I currently have a long position in. I believe this project is literally at a bottom. There's not much further down it could go. And
it can always go further down, bro.
Sure, everything can always go further
No,
down.
100%.
Oh, I have my chart back. Never mind, your services are no longer needed. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, VeChain, daily, inverse head and shoulders pattern. This is on the daily. VeChain is consolidating around its high volume node here at 17 at 1.717 cents. It has wicked all the way down to 1.634 cents. And it's filling out this right shoulder. And I was telling Rob yesterday, I was like, I think a big move is coming for VeChain. I think that big move is going to be to the upside, but it needs Bitcoin to cooperate to some degree. Even if it's go up to like 105K and just stay there. Just stay there for a few days. Hang out, grab yourself a coffee, Bitcoin, drink a beer, get a sandwich. Turkey BLT sandwich. You like turkey BLT?
Turkey, you got too many letters there. BLT is bacon, lettuce, tomato. Stop throwing other ingredients on there, bro.
It's TBLT.
No, just leave it alone.
Cool.
Like someone would be like PBJF. I'm like, what's the F for? I'd be like,
What is the F for?
I don't know. Fail. Fail. You failed trying to juice up whatever.
You're an idiot.
Yeah,
I want to give a big thank you to Kit Kats, my favorite candy. Said, Dave wins the shirt award. Hope you feel better. Thanks, bro. Appreciate you. $5 super chat.
you just call Kit Kats, Kit Kats,
Bro, that's a compliment. It's my dog.
your
man.
candy.
Love the candy.
You got a lot of candies out there, huh?
Twix, Kit Kats. Also like Almond Joy. Those are really good too. You like Almond Joy?
Who likes Almond Joy?
You don't like coconut? Almond Joy or
I like coconut. I don't like coconut that comes in. Coconut is supposed to be.
Okay.
It's moist. It's. Yeah. Let me tell you.
Nice.
There's
Nice rack.
There's a coconut that industry sell you. This coconut is shaved and lack of moisture and flavor, and well, it's the human version of hamster food. You know those little pellets you get? Perhaps sawdust. I mean, there's nothing more disgusting than shaved coconut. And then sometimes they bake it and make it into a macaroon-looking thing with chocolate on the outside or almond joys. And I see you eat those and just question mortality. All right, so
Question mortality? What the fuck? What is wrong with you, dude?
let's get into some altcoins. What are we buying?
Okay, hold on. We're going to talk about VeChain, bro. Relax.
Go ahead.
Anyway, so yeah, VeChain.
I think it's in a good spot. You know, the thing is that I was looking over the chart yesterday, and there's so much bullish patterns forming on all of the top layer ones, particularly the ones that were going into yesterday with pullbacks. They're all looking favorable, right? You know, a good example, a good example was like Zcash. I don't know why I was drawing a blank there. But Zcash looks favorable, but I just can't trust it, dude. Currently at 480, seeing a nice run here. But yeah, I mean, you look at these charts. I don't like this trading view here version. This thing's ghetto. Let me pull up my Zcash. There she is. Oh, what are these nice green circles you got over here?
Green circles?
Yeah, these.
Oh, yeah, they're circles. That are green.
Those are nice.
Cool, right?
But
You can draw them yourself too, Rob.
I love green circles.
Yeah.
All right, so you know, you look at the charts. I don't know, dude.
What time frame is that?
This is on the 15-minute, so then the shorter time frame.
That's a big bounce.
You're seeing a strong bounce here. We put in a bottom there. You look on the 1 hour. It's a nice solid bounce, but I just don't trust it, dude.
Why? Because of Bitcoin, or just in general?
Just in general. You know, we came in, we put in a top back on the 7th of November, so that was less than a week ago. Not quite as high back on the 9th. Yeah. Anyways, the charts are looking good for a move. I would expect a bounce up to about 550 on Zcash. Which is a pretty good move. I think you can get a 20% out of Zcash. I don't think it's going to get back to its high at $700, but you know, I could see a bounce here, get back at least to 530, 525. So here, this one was at 511. This bounce here, I had a higher bounce at 540. So I do think somewhere around that range. You can look at these high volume nodes here at 520, 540. And I think if Bitcoin were to stay above 105, or stay above, 101 and get back towards 105, I think you got a pretty good move here. Only problem is that Zcash is on a downward trend. It's moved dramatically. I mean, you go to the daily and you look at the daily chart. It's got a lot more. It could pull back easily another $200. I mean, it could go down to 220 here. This would be where I think it would ultimately fall if Bitcoin were to drop under 98,000. So the risk versus reward on this is it's tough. You know, you could hold this down to $200. You could write it up for a nice 20% gain and get back out at 530. I wouldn't hold it long term, but I think it's good to keep an eye on Zcash for what the altcoin space is going to do. Avalanche is another one. I know it looks like it's a good time to enter on the charts. You know, you look at Avalanche, you say to yourself, like, what a wonderful world. It hasn't done anything over the last month. It looks like it might have put in a bottom here at 15, $16. I mean, you look at the AVAX chart. It's it did. You know, I know you drew this one here. What was this one on Monday?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it broke out, failed to break out. It's just a disappointing. This is on the daily here. If you look at the lower time frames, it is looking pretty good on the lower time frames. I think it could easily bump back up to $20, or at least up to, was it 17 is its previous high that it was at yesterday. You know, 1775, currently at 16.9. But I mean, if you look at the 4 hour, here you'll see that, you know, it can make some big moves here. Put in this inverse head and shoulders here, which did break out, and yeah, I just, the altcoin space is just really looking.
So is that your next play, or?
I don't like Avalanche long term currently in its current situation. I did. Was a long-term holder of AVAX. However, the trend is down and to the right. It looks like it's gearing up for a nice big bounce, though. So if you think and you want to put money behind it, that AVAX will jump from this $16, $17 range and get back above $20. It's a pretty strong move on the percentages. Also, I mean, this is something that is fallen out of the top 20 now. This was at number 12 earlier this year. And then last bull market in 2021, it was a top 10 project. Currently, it's just Bitcoin dumps, AVAX dumps.
Everything dumps.
Bitcoin bounces and rallies.
AVAX doesn't bounce.
AVAX doesn't rally. Sometimes it does, but most of the time it does.
That's a really cool price action, right?
It is, yeah.
I want to show you a video, but first I got to drink water.
Oh, congratulations.
Guys, I'm sorry. I know I'm trying to get my energy up here. I feel like literal shit, but I'm so excited to be here. This video here I want to share with you. This is a short story, a visual representation of the crypto markets. And, well, Rob. Okay, here we go. We're about to rally. Bitcoin's crossing 104,000. Oh my God, the bull market is back. We're going to absolutely crush it. Oh my God, we're making so much money. Bitcoin's going to 125K next week, and we sputter. And oh my God, here comes the black markets. Everything's down. Altcoins are down. We're bleeding. We're dying. The market's over. Oh my God, no, please. I'm losing my money. Oh my God. But wait, it's bouncing.
I don't understand the narrative there. But have you not seen this lady before?
I have not.
So she does.
Hold on, you don't understand the narrative. You don't get the.
I guess she changes. But she has like the world record. She does like
quick QVC stuff.
Yeah, she does. Yeah. She can switch. I think on a daily, she switches between 1,500 outfits.
That's crazy.
And like a little 10-hour thing. I think she's from China.
She is from China for sure.
Yeah, and then so this lady makes crazy money.
Do you think she's into crypto?
Money. Probably not. But no. Yeah, she's some crazy amount of outfits. She does it every day. There's like a live stream of her. I don't know how I ended up on that.
I get that free at home watching my wife do it. Is this so good, babe? What about this? Well, what about if I change this? What if I change that? Speaking of China. Uh-oh. China accuses the U.S. of orchestrating a $13 billion Bitcoin theft. No idea any context. No idea where it's coming from. No idea. I know the U.S. just seized some Bitcoin. What was it, a month ago or a few weeks ago?
Something like that.
Yeah. This might be what they're discussing. I don't know. Maybe they are. I do want to get into virtual. So I talked about VeChain. I want to talk a little bit about virtual. It's at $1.27 currently. On the 1 week, it is down 8.6%. 1 month, it's up 48%. And 1 year, it's up 202% over the last 1 year. So guys, if you would have held Virtual's protocol for the last year, even at the peak, even if you didn't take any profits and you got in here, you're still sitting on a 3x. That's pretty damn good. Now, there's, of course, money to be made by just holding the native token, but there's more money to be made, also more risk that comes with it, in its ecosystem. Let's take a look at volume and numbers in Virtuals. Daily active wallets is starting to rise. You can see here on the right-hand side. Daily active wallets by chain. We don't care about that. DEX volume by chain. You're starting to see that rise as well after kind of sputtering for months. This is daily DEX volume by agents. When we hit our peak, at least our local peak, this was on October 23rd. Toshi was number 1. And then there's others. And then you had Tibber. Tibber is one that we've talked about, and it's remained in the top 3 the entire time, essentially, on this run up. We want to see some, if we get volume like this, you're going to see a massive second wave for a Virtuals ecosystem run. Then you look at total trading volume, revenue, all of that. So things are looking good. And I'm going to give you 3 projects that I'm very bullish on. The first one that I've talked about countless times is Wire, 717 Capital. They are currently in Mar-a-Lago. They're buying a bank. They are OTC settlement. They are part of the Circle. I forget the exact terminology, but they're part of the Circle kind of cohorts of people that can, settle. I don't know.
Circle of Life.
Yeah, the Circle Alliance. And I'm super bullish on this project. It's $13.5 million. We got in at around 6. So we're still sitting on a little over 2x. Pretty good. Did get as high as $22 million in market cap. I do think this thing has a lot of room to go. The other one is Vader. This one was a darling of the Virtuals ecosystem. In the beginning, it did get to an all-time high market cap of, we shrink this down, 170 million, you guys, and we're sitting at 10 million. When virtual started going down, Vader pivoted to robotics. At the time, people didn't like it. I honestly didn't like it. And then you started seeing the robotics narrative heat up, and then virtuals came out and said, hey, we're launching our robotics arm for virtuals. Vader is working closely and directly with virtuals and their team. So I think there's something there if you are bullish on robotics. Vader at 10 million, sub 10 million market cap, I think is a high risk, high reward play. And the last one is Game, again, by virtuals. This is essentially the engine that runs all of ACP, including the virtuals butler. This thing got to a high of $400 million market cap. It's at 37. So a clean 10x away from reaching its previous all-time high. You're seeing consolidation. The ranges are getting tight. So if you're a believer in just the overall virtuals ecosystem and you want to, I would say this is the closest to being like a native token like virtual is to the virtual ecosystem. And so if you're looking for another virtuals like play where you're kind of buying a token and you're getting exposure to the upside of all of it, right? All the ecosystem, I think Game's a great play. So those are my top three, and I would probably rank them in this order: Wire, Game, and Vader. There's tons of other good ones. If you like privacy, there's Mute. If you like, truth layer, everyone talks about the truth layer and verifying stats and layer and all that. Facey's another good one, FACY. But these are my big three. I didn't mention Tibber because I talk about it all the time. I want to give you guys something fresh and new. So yeah, that's what I got. Any comments on that?
No, I'm not too plugged into the virtual ecosystem.
Beautiful, beautiful. Mm-hmm. I do want to give a big thank you. Today's show is brought to you by the #1 social casino in the entire world, which is stake.us. We did host our first ever Stake US X Sin City Crypto Poker Tournament. Shout out to the winner, Verdusco. No, it wasn't Verdusco. It was Verdusco. Verdusco won. And so shout out to you, Verdusco. We're still waiting on him to reach out because we're giving him this $250 in free stake cash. So a big thanks to Stake for sponsoring that tournament. And we're excited to do another one. Create an account, join, claim your free stake cash every single day. That's $30 a month. And then redeem it for crypto. Big thank you to Stake. So Rob, I'd like to ask you, you think, let's stay on the topic of virtuals protocol here. Do you think, what's your base case for virtuals as far as the different verticals they've gone, right? They have the retail side, which is people using the agents. They have the infrastructure side with what's happening with infrastructure. And then now they're branching out to robotics. The team is great. I think they've proven themselves. What's your outlook on virtuals? And if you don't have any exposure to virtuals of the ecosystem, are you just holding the mainnet token, or are you looking to get into the ecosystem and get some of the more higher risk, high reward plays?
First of all, I would say that I'm definitely more just on the virtuals protocol token itself.
So
and the reason, the mainnet token. The reason being is that any of the agents that have some age to them are pretty much kind of died out. Right? There isn't any legacy ones. It's more like, hey, here's the new agent. It does this. And so trying to play the game of, hey, I'll buy it now, but when do I sell it? When does it top? It doesn't typically work out well, at least not for me and my investments. My timing is just never spot on flash in the pan stuff. I'm not discounting or saying that the agents themselves aren't worth it, but just from a price dynamic, investing and buying, I think that virtuals is a way better play, and there's a lot of potential upside there. And I think a lot of people are always chasing more returns and going down the risk curve, and I just don't personally like the risk curve for the virtuals agents as far as its track record. At least with like Solana memes, there's like, 3 or 4 that have done well that still are there, Same thing with ETH memes. So I'm not saying it's a meme coin, but I'm just likening it to things that have a lot more risk and a lot more price accumulation, a lot more volatility. And virtual agents just, I don't know. They're promising on the tech, but on the charts, long term, they just haven't really played out. And
there's been a lot of money made in that ecosystem, though.
Yeah.
And so yeah.
Yeah, there's money to be made there, and if you enjoy the volatility and you're plugged into the ecosystem, you know the next big play is like have at it. If you're asking me which one would I hold, mainnet or agents, I'm just gonna go with the mainnet all day, just because the agents just haven't historically held up very well.
And in some way, when you just hold a native token, you're getting exposure to all of it, right? You don't got to try to pick the winners of a large batch of agents, and so yeah. I like taking a little more risk. I think there's some really good projects in that ecosystem. I hold both. I hold the Virtual's main token, but I also go down the risk curve a little bit, and I hold quite a few, not as much as I used to, but quite a few of the agent tokens. I want to share this. Solana ETF has been on a roll. The Bitwise ETF, BSOL, that one's had not a single red day. And you can say, well, it's only been around for a little bit, and there's not enough inflows for there to be outflows. Well, 331 million has flowed in since it went live on October 28th. GSOL, which is Grayscale's product, which I don't know why they just keep being the most expensive product out there. Like, bro, what are you doing? BSOL's at 0.2. Grayscale's at 0.35, and you have those inflows have been a measly 18 million. Like, that's pretty whack. It's pretty terrible. So Solana, and then interesting, relative to the rest of, let's look at Bitcoin ETF flows. Yesterday was a massive day relative to what we've seen recently. 524 million flowed in to the Bitcoin ETF yesterday. In the Ethereum ETF, a little different story here. Get rid of that. Ethereum ETF flows yesterday. We saw outflows of $107 million. So if you were to look at this thing one-to-one and say, well, people are moving out of ETH and they're moving into Solana. I don't know if that's the case, but that's what the numbers say. To some extent, I guess you can kind of draw that conclusion. But I think, and I've said this and I still believe it, I think 2 to 3 months of chop for Solana while the ETFs kind of gain their footing, and then you're going to see a big rally. If it aligns with another alt rally, if not, if the top is already in, which I don't think it is, but you never know, then I think it just trends down, people will accumulate, and SOL will be the first ones to run going into the next cycle, however long that takes and however long that is. I do want to talk about ICP. ICP went on a really, really massive run from like $3 up to $9, almost $10, seeing a pretty sharp pullback. And it was off the back of the caffeine excitement, caffeine AI announcement going public. Well, this is an update from Caffeine AI. It just got smarter. Starting today, Caffeine can search the web. Whether you're looking for an API for your weather app or you need a code snippet from GitHub, Caffeine will automatically find it. Web search in Caffeine, and thanks for that. Web search in Caffeine means your app has the latest information right at its fingertips. This is the stuff that we talk about going mainstream, getting the average people to use it. And I really think this is what kind of saved ICP price action. Speaking of ICP price action, let's take a look. Also, while I'm on here, VeChain is waiting for a potential trigger wave long entry on the 6 hours, so keep your eye on that. So yeah. Okay. We're going to look at an ICP chart real quick. $6.21. Let's look at the daily chart here on ICP. Daily showing a little bit of a reversal. Let's see if any key Fibonacci levels was hit. Not really. We're kind of in between the 50 and a gold pocket here on the retracement before it stopped. Even if I were to adjust this down right here, yeah. And then it did get rejected at the 50 on the way up. So that's one thing to keep in mind, which is around $6.37. It did get a wick above there to around $7.10. That's where we got stopped out. You had a couple highs. First high was here on the way up. This is on November 4th. And the second high was on today's candle, where it ultimately failed. And it's come back down another 7% since making that wick high. Don't be surprised, guys, if we come down and touch this gold pocket, chop there just a little bit, right? We're talking about between $5.32 and $5.51, and then hopefully get another push and another leg up. If not, your next fib level to watch out for is your 786 at 438, $4.38, that is. And then kind of same thing. Do we chop? Do we break? Do we go? We do have some confluence here with the gold pocket. Large volume node here at that $5 and 33-cent level. What's your base case on ICP? You think the top is in for ICP? You think it's
I do not like ICP's chart currently. I think that it lacks volume. It's coming way off of a high. It just, I look at ICP. First of all, I just want to say here real quick before I get any further in ICP, Bitcoin is flirting with that 101,000. It just dropped $400. You look here, just did this. This is on the 15-minute. Just put in a large red candle to the downside. Likely to see a bounce there, but a little concerning. Starting to think that we are going to go under 100K. I don't know. I think that's the move. I think that's the move we're about to see. I think we're gonna go back down and test 100K, which I think we might lose it this time around. I don't know. I just have that sentiment. I've been in the game enough times to know. Anyways, ICP. I don't like it. I don't like ICP on the short term. If you want to accumulate, you feel like it's a good value to buy here. Sure. Even then, I think it's going to retrace back to, look on the 1 month here. This is a month ago. It was at $3. And so $6, even for accumulation, I think is not it's not it. Are you buying?
Right now, it's
This is just on the week. You look on the year, it just feels like it's gonna be one of these bounces here, where you went from $10 up to $12. 20% run, falls back down to $10. We went from, even before the Friday crash that was like 2 months ago now, a month and a half, whatever it was, the big liquidation of October 10th. So yeah, a little over a month ago. That one saw the price draw down from $4.50 to $3. And so if anything, I think we go back down to $4.50. And even then, if Bitcoin were to lose that 100K mark, there's a lot of tumble in here for ICP. Upside return, maybe back up to $10, and that's a big maybe. I think you might see a bounce to $8. $8 is the most. That's the most you're going to get out of this thing. $8 is going to be the highest this thing's going to get, in my personal opinion. The downside risk, $4 and $2, or probably $4 and $3. And I think that's. I feel I lean with a lot of conviction behind those prices.
Yeah, that would be brutal.
I think that's where it's gonna go, man. I really like Hedera, dude. Hedera is I think if first of all it's performing pretty well in the week, even despite pullbacks. We saw it get almost up to 20 cents. Is Hedera going to 3x? No. At least not in the short term. Is Hedera going to see 80% pumps by the end of the year in one day in daily candles? Probably not. However, I think that Hedera is, if you're trying to scalp 10% runs on Hedera, I think it's a great play, man. I think this going from 17 cents to 19 cents, I think it's pretty simple. You leverage trade, you throw a little X, you throw some X's behind that. Your 10% could easily be a 50% run or whatever it is on your bag. And so I like Hedera. It's performing well against the volatility of Bitcoin, the downside pullbacks of Bitcoin. Look here on the 1 month. I mean, we've seen it. This is what you want to trade, honestly. I mean, look at this. 19 cents down to 16 cents, up to 18 cents, back to 16 cents. Up to 21 cents, back down. Like, And it's not like bottoming out. It's not like you're not getting these ugly bottoms on this thing. So it's held up pretty well. You can even see a year ago it was at 7 cents. And so we've seen it as high as 36 cents. As you know, this is one of our channel favorites. So the fundamentals behind it, what the team has going on, its trajectory is very bullish. Price action, you can make some money here. Trading in between its current accumulation zone between 17 and 20 cents. Also, I don't see a ton of downside risk with this one. I really don't. Even if the markets were to turn.
I got a little bit of bad news, at least in the short term. On the 2-hour time frame, just got a blood diamond on Bitcoin. And you guys know if you use Market Cipher, especially Market Cipher A, blood diamonds are your get the hell out of your longs, short the shit out of the market. And well, the last time Market Cipher A printed a blood diamond was right here. Right here. And Bitcoin went down 15%. Just got another one with continuation. I'm with Rob. I just exited my VeChain trade. I took an L. I agree with Rob. I think Bitcoin's going down to under 100. I think alts are going to get destroyed. And I think putting 96K on the table, I think is a good idea. Will it get there? I don't know. Will we see bids coming in? I don't know. But yeah, everything's kind of pointing to more downside.
Yeah. I just if I had to put a percentage behind it, I think that you have about a 70% likelihood that this breaks under 100K.
Yeah.
And 30% that you get a nice bounce. And so if you're in a long position and you get a big bounce, you're going to be kicking yourself in the butt. And so, it just depends on what kind of risk you want. But I do think the upside potential is very small now, relatively speaking. I think that momentum, and it's just not looking good, man. I'm just looking at this chart here. Bitcoin is currently about to lose the $101,000 mark. And then it just did here briefly. So
101.
Oh, it just flashed for a second. So, anyways, yeah, we'll keep a close eye there, but I don't know.
So, what's your play, Rob? Are you wait and see, wait for the bounce, see what moves? Is there maybe one before we end the show? Is there one or two
at this point, this is what I'm personally going to do is see what direction the market's going. I wouldn't even feel comfortable getting into any positions until Bitcoin's over 102,000. I would say like 102.5. Because, we saw here, look at there. We had a bounce. We had a bounce to 102.1. That was right in the middle of our show. I'm looking at the 15-minute candles here, by the way. So right at the beginning of our show, we've seen a couple of bounces above 102,000. And yeah, I don't know, dude. I think we're gonna go further down.
Yeah, me too. So before we end the show, is there a couple that you want to give people? Is there a couple that you want to give people some like, hey, pay attention to these?
You know what? I would just pay attention to Bitcoin and then see what direction that goes. If Bitcoin holds, starts to bounce, and you feel comfortable that it's not going to, the floor's not going to fall out from under it, my first play for you would be Zcash. I think that Zcash currently at $470 has a likely rally to 520 to 540, which is well over a 10% run from where we're currently at. And then you look down. I also like Hedera, and I really like Aerodrome to be the top performer with a strong Bitcoin bounce. Even with Bitcoin where it's at, we're still over $1.13. Look here on the 1 week, on the last 7 days, we went from under $1 to over $1, and we're still making daily highs on Aerodrome. So I feel pretty confident. I think this will be the top play if Bitcoin holds over 100K.
Cool. All right. That'll do it for the show today. Thank you all very much for tuning in. Big thank you to all the mods. We're getting a lot of BS scam messages in there. So thank you guys for handling those. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure to do so. Gina, roll the outro. We love you guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Peace.
Sin City Crypto. Cash is Cuvée. Yeah. Sin City Crypto. Everybody know what we here for. Entertainment and info. Gonna show you how to get that big dough. So every day stay tapped in. For big facts, no capping. With Bitcoin, if you're in, then you win. We divide the pie with no fraction. It's Big Rob, David. I spit the game, but they gave it. Name the coin that's your favorite. I got dry powder, why save it? To the OGs, new beginners. Special shout out to the well members. Buy the dip, sell winners. Ain't really nothing you can tell sinners. Tune in for the latest new flavors. They gonna teach us mean coins. They polarizing like barbecue chicken pizzas. I laugh with a major grin. Laggers, we trade them in. Baddies, they came to sin. And sinners gon' play to win. Screaming hola, till my bags are flowing over. Hold ya to the moon and to the solar. Won't I? Don't be letting FOMO control ya. It's over when the finger tornado close ya.